Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Res Indica IS Academy, Desh Badla Padhai Badlo. Today we will be discussing a very important topic on effects of liberalization on the economy. Okay, so there are two topics are there: industrial policy and the effect of liberalization. So we will be finishing in this video. We will be completing the effects of liberalization. We will be understanding what is the meaning of liberalization, what is the concept, and what is the advantages, disadvantages, what all things have been going on since last 2-3 decades in this whole process. So we will be talking about the in-depth knowledge and in-depth analysis of the liberalization in this session. So let's start with our session right away. So before going ahead, if you can see over here we can see this is what the topic we are going to do. So effects of liberalization on the economy, that is a separate topic we will be doing, and after that changes in industrial policy and their effects on industrial growth, that is a separate topic that we will be doing separately. Okay, so let's start with our topic. So what is the meaning of liberalization? So whenever we say liberalization, liberalization, as the word suggests, that means liberal. Liberal means you are very liberal in something. That means you are very easy on something, right? So whenever we say liberalization, it normally refers to the process of reducing the government restrictions. Okay, earlier maybe at some places there are a lot of government restrictions are there, a lot of government controls were there. Okay, so here what we are trying to say is that liberalization means reducing government restrictions, reducing government regulations. So in all, it tells you about the role in which we are trying to change the role of the government in order to facilitate the way of liberalization. Okay, so what all it includes whenever we say that liberalization, like what are the terms, like in what ways we do the liberalization. So there are certain policies that we try to put. These policy include like deregulation, privatization, trade liberalization, financial liberalization. Deregulation means earlier those industries which are being regulated by the government have been deregularized. Okay, now it has been allowed that the private sector can also open those factories or all those industries. Okay, so that is called deregulation. Government will not interfere in the operation of those industry, or they will be doing a very minimal interference. What we call it as very minimal interference. Okay, and then sometimes government go for privatization means there are government companies are there in which government is holding 100% stakes. Okay, so government try to disinvest in these areas and try to privatize the company so that it should run in a more optimum and more efficient way. Okay, then trade liberalization, the way we do our international trade, the way we do our internal trade, there also government provide lot of controls. So in order to ease down those control, in order to provide help to the trade, in order to provide the help to the industries, government try to liberalize the way the trade works. Government try to change their rules, government try to change their taxation policies and all these things. Then financial liberalization means free flow of capital, the money coming, money going out of the country, coming inside the country. Okay, so that is again earlier that has been restricted very heavily, but slowly government have even started working on that, and slowly government has tried to change this whole concept of financial liberalization, providing a lot of support to the company who wanted to invest in our country in the form of FDI, in the form of FIIs. Okay, like that. Okay, so again this is coming under the concept of financial liberalization. Okay, so now we will see like historically what exactly is the meaning of liberalization. So if we go by the post World War II era, when the World War is just got over, so many countries of the world has adopted the economic policy which are often characterized by the heavy government involvement, heavy government interferences. Okay, because during that time the economies of the world got shattered enough, and now there was not enough resources that are there with the private party or the government. So government thought that let's take the charge in hand and develop our economy from the scratch. But by 1970s there is yet another issue that is coming, that is called stagflation. Stagflation means when there is a high inflation in the economy and coupled with high unemployment rate. So because of that, there was a declining productivity in the economy that is happening, and inefficiencies are there throughout the economy. Okay, in centrally planned economy. So that is why there is a need to relook. There is a need to relook on the economy, like is the central controlled economy or centrally planned economy is working properly or not. So there is a need to re-evaluation of these policies. Okay, then comes the neoliberalism and Thatcherism. Okay, in 20th century, we have Margaret Thatcher is there of the United Kingdom, and Ronald Reagan of the United States. They focused on the neoliberal economic policy. Neoliberal means let's reduce the government interventions. Let the private companies should take stake on the state-owned enterprises. Deregulation of the industry. Let the industry grow on its own. Free market principles. These are some of the neoliberal thoughts that are there that has been put forward on 20th century by the top leaders of our world. Margaret Thatcher and of United Kingdom and Ronald Reagan of the USA. With the concept, during the time when the World War got over, Washington Consensus coined in 1980s, the Washington Consensus referred to the set of policy prescription advocated institutions like International Monetary Fund and World Bank and the US Treasury Department. Right, so the main Washington Consensus is the word that has been came with the establishment of International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. So this Washington Consensus was a policy prescription that has been given by the World Institute of IMF, World Bank and US Treasury Department. The focus area of this whole Washington Consensus is that we follow a certain fiscal discipline policy. We have to follow the policy of deregulation. We have to follow the policy of privatization. We have to follow the policy of trade liberalization and openness to foreign investment. So these 5 important points are there that has been advocated by the top institute of the world like IMF, World Bank under the Washington Consensus. Then post-Soviet bloc is also there. We know that the Soviet collapse has happened and the Eastern Bloc has formerly socialist countries are there, and they were embarked on the liberalized program transition from centrally planned economy to the market economy. They were moving towards that. They were be oriented towards those area. Okay, that means they are trying to privatize their state-owned enterprises. They are trying to deregulate their market and opening for the international trade. Okay, so as we all know that whenever we are talking about the liberalization, it is just like that. We are opening up with the market, we are losing the control of the government, and we are providing much and much more say to the private party. Okay, let the private party take care of the economy, of the businesses, of the institution. Government will be having a very, very minimum regulation in all those areas. Okay, now what is the need of liberalization? Whenever we say what is a need, okay, so need can be your economic need can be your social need can be your political or any other need you can have, but the major bigger needs are these 3 only. Okay, So why we are focusing on the liberalized policy, liberalization, is because the first focus area is the economic growth. We are focusing on economic growth because with the liberalization help in promotion of the economic growth. Okay, because they foster the competition among the countries, competition among the industries. They foster the innovation. Liberalization foster innovation and efficiency, because as more and more parties will be coming, more and more parties will be engaging, industries will be engaging, there will be a healthy competition that will be there between them. Between them the innovation will be also coming up, and because of that innovation we will be getting a very efficient way of working. Okay, so with this economic growth, it helps in removing the barriers in the trade. It encourages the investment, because wherever there are liberal policy, obviously the investment and trade will flow over there, because nobody want that we want heavy regulation, high regulation anywhere. No. Okay, so whenever there is a liberal policies, automatically the trade and investment will flow over there. Okay, so and proper resource allocation will be done, and because of that we will be having a competitive advantage over others. Okay, then liberalization also helps in globalization. When we try to liberalize, automatically we will see that we are getting connected by the world, we are interconnected by the world. Liberalization will provide international trade to flow, investment to flow, market will be opening, we will be having wide range of goods. If you go to the market, you will see made in Japan, made in China, made in Korea, like you might be seeing all those things. Capital will flow from various countries, from the various multilateral international banks. So, okay, so capital will be also flowing over there. So this is what we will get more and more integrated in the form of a globalized world. And once we are able to get the investment, once we are able to get the resources flowing, automatically it helps in boosting and stimulating economic activity. And once economic activity is getting boosted, it will be needing additional workforce to meet that demand. Okay, so automatically the more economic growth, it will generate more and more jobs creation it will be doing. Okay, then we have a consumer welfare. Okay, so whenever we are following any kind of liberalized policy, we are actually supporting the consumer in this way, because consumer will be provided with much more product with various different values, various different qualities. That means now the consumer have more choice. Now the consumer has more choice, consumer has more products, consumer has more services. Okay, so this is how the things will be coming. So consumer will be having a whole range of products they will be having. Okay, so with that competition and everything that is coming intact, we will be able to improve the quality of the product. We will be having very important innovative product, and we will be also helping in providing good customer services to the people. Okay, now efficient allocation of resources. So once we are following the policy of liberalization, with the liberalization, efficient allocation of resources also happens. How? Because whenever we follow the policy of liberalization, we are following the market principles. We are not simply going by the terms and conditions that we have set for ourselves. No, we are focusing on market forces. Market forces are determining the price. Market forces are determining the production level. Market forces are determining the investment decision. Okay, that is why you are bound to do the work which is more efficient, in its working. Okay, so this will prevent us from the wasteful resource consumptions. Okay, then comes the technological advancements. Since because of liberalization we are following the policy of foreign direct investment, foreign portfolio investment, for FIIs. Okay, so with the help of a FDI, where more than 10% of the capital is being sent to the receiving country. So here we are focusing on transfer of technology. With the FDI, we get transfer of technology. We know, so this technology breaks away the barriers of the border. It infuses the innovation, it diffuses the innovation in your own country. Okay, so this is all because of the openness to the trade. If you are open to the trade, the people from outside wanted to invest in your country, and with that investment they will be bringing the resources, they will be bringing the machinery, they will be bringing the technology and everything to you, foreign expertise, foreign technology, and they will be helping in improving the competitiveness in the whole market. Then reduced corruption. Whenever we are following the policy of liberalization, the opportunity for corruption also got reduced, because now we are streamlining the whole process as per the market demand. Right, as per the market demand, we are streamlining the whole process and also reducing the bureaucratic barrier, or we call it as red tapeism. Earlier, it is the officers who dictate us the terms on what to produce, how much to produce, okay, during the license Raj system and everything. But because of the liberalized policy that we started following since 1991, now we are able to follow and we are able to streamline all our processes and everything, and we are able to streamline our whole production and technological know-how in a proper way. Okay, so now we have a business that we can run in a transparent and predictable business environment. It is not like that something is going on a silo. No, we are having now transparent system, predictable system, and we have a because of this only the investor have a confidence on everything. And because of this liberalized policy, we are expecting that everybody is following the ethical business practices, right? The next is the fiscal sustainability. Whenever we follow the policy of liberalization, the main focus area is fiscal sustainability, expanding the tax revenue basis, optimizing the tax revenue basis. So because whenever with the help of a liberalization policy, whenever the businesses are growing, economic activities are growing, automatically the government revenue will be also increasing, government tax revenues will be also increasing. Okay, so with this policy of liberalization, government will be able to finance the public service and infrastructure investment. Okay, because otherwise if the government is not having proper revenues and government is not having proper capital, government has to borrow the money, government has to borrow on, and government has to do excessive taxation, okay, which is again against the concept of fiscal federalism. And because of the fiscal policy, this is also against the policy of fiscal, because it is not like that you cannot simply tax anything or you can simply borrow anything. Okay, last year if we go by the budget of 23-24, if we go by the budget of 23 and 24, close to 10 lakh crore rupees, 10 lakh crore rupees has to be paid in interest payment only, in interest payment only. So because the borrowing has been done on such a heavy scale that government has to only pay 10 lakh crore from the revenue budget. So there is a need for proper liberal policy so that government can expand its tax revenue without taxing, without extra taxing, without extra borrowing. Okay, then we have a international competitiveness. Yeah, so whenever we are following the policy of liberalization, we are also enhancing our international competitiveness. We are also enhancing our international competitiveness because we are exposing our domestic industries. We are exposing our domestic industries to the global market, so that once they become exposed to the global market, our industry become exposed to global market, they also start following the best practices. They become more and more optimized. They become more and more, they follow more and more efficient way of production. They also follow the policy of proper productivity, and how they are going to do the cost reduction, and how they can make their firm more and more resilient as per the global competition. So these are the needs of the liberalization that are there: economic growth, globalization, job creation, consumer welfare, then efficient allocation of resources, technologically advancement, reduction corruption, fiscal sustainability, and international competitiveness. Now, objectives. I am going slowly just because I wanted to make you understand that you should remember each and every point related to that. So that is why I am going very much slowly, so that you should read each and every point slowly. Okay, so that each and every point gets to your mind in a detailed and a proper way. Now, what is the objectives of liberalization? Like, after liberalization policy, what is the objective that we wanted to achieve? Okay. So, under the objective of liberalization, first is promoting involvement of private Indian business and multinational corporation. Okay, we know that by India follow a liberalized policy since 1991, right? 1991. Okay, so we have seen that there are a lot of sectors are there in our country, whether it is telecommunication, whether it is energy sector, aviation sector, retail, or private sector. Lot of infusion has happened of this sector. Okay, so there are a lot of companies are there: Reliance Industries, Bharti Airtel, Tata groups are there. They are now expanding their business on verticals, horizontal, and everywhere. Okay, these are the big names that I have take over here. Okay, so objective is promoting involvement of private Indian businessmen and multilateral cooperation. Okay, then the second objective that we are focusing on is enabling internationalization of Indian economy. Like, we wanted to make our Indian economy to be of international standard. Okay, so like, we wanted to acquire the things, we wanted to invest in something. Like, there is a example of Tata Group. Tata Group has acquired Jaguar and Land Rover in 2008. This is one of the major example that we wanted to give you, like how our Indian company is venturing in other global market for international footprint. Otherwise, before that, government has to take lot of the company has to take lot of permission in order to invest, or in order to buy something from anywhere. Now, the third one is promoting foreign trade to boost the export. Right? Trade liberalization, how we can promote our foreign trade, how we can do is by reducing the tariff, taxation, easing the custom procedures, right? This will help in exporting boosting the export in our country. Government has launched Make in India campaign. Government have even started Startup India, right? Startup India campaign they have started. Government have even started PLI, Production Link Incentive Scheme. Government has started, especially focusing on boosting the manufacturing and export in our country, because this will help in achieving ease of doing business in the country. And once ease of doing business ranking goes high in our country, automatically the various companies outside the world start investing in our country. Right now in our country, we have lot of investor summit. We have lot of investor summits are happening. Gujarat Investor Summit, Uttar Pradesh Investor Summit, Punjab Investor Summits. All these summits are happening in order to attract the foreign investment from outside. Earlier, you cannot do that because our whole economy was very, very closed economy. and you cannot call for these investor summit and all these summit, because it will lead to infusion of the foreign capital and it may take control of various companies. Okay, but right now after 1991, after 1990s and 1991, there is a opening of the economy that has started happening. Okay, then this liberalization helps in resolving the balance of payment crisis. We have in 1990 we have a balance of payment crisis, and we have only a fortnight, that is up to a 15 days of money left for payment of our oil import bills. Okay, so with this liberalization policies, we are able to attract the foreign investment. We are able to attract the foreign investment in order to stabilize our economy. Otherwise, we will not be getting any currencies from the outset, right? So we are opening the banking sector, we are opening the insurance sector, we are easing out the procedure in various other sector in order to make the flow of capital easy in our country. Then increasing the private sector involvement in economic growth, because right now we have heard the word of PPP, what it is known as public private partnership, right now government is following the policy of BOT, build operate transferred, BOOT, build own operate transfer, hybrid annuity model. Okay, here everywhere the government is taking the help of the private sector. Private sector will be providing money also, private sector will be also providing the technology also. Government only have to acquire the land and provide all the clearances. So it is like two collaborative way of working that is going on. If we go by the concept of liberalization, how we are encouraging the private sector in this. If we go to Delhi Metro, Mumbai Pune Expressway, okay, Bundelkhand Expressway, all these are there which are being executed by the private sector. And if you go there, you will be seeing that they are the infrastructure marvel. Okay, because of that, it lead to improve infrastructure and also it boosts the economic growth of that area. Okay, now the sixth one. Now, boosting foreign direct investment in Indian industry. When we liberalize, in 1990s, we have followed a policy of LPG reform. Liberalization, privatization and globalization. With the liberalization, we have relaxed the FDI norms. We have allowed many companies to invest in India, and we have reduced the regulation in various countries. Okay, so we have revised our FDI policy to attract the foreign investment in sector retail, manufacturing and service sector, and we got huge investment. And you have seen that there are a lot of MNCs are there. MNCs like Accenture, we have Google is there, Microsoft is there. Okay, then we have Amazon is there. Okay, then we have Cognizant is there. Okay, these all are MNC service sector companies are there, which are opening up their centers in the country itself, because government has eased down the regulation, and with that they are coming with the capital also, technology also and jobs also. Right now most of the jobs that are being created in our country are being created by the IT service sector. And in that IT service sector, there are IT giants are there, TCS is there, Infosys is there, Wipro is there, Cognizant is there, Accenture is there, and various other companies, Microsoft is there, and everything is there. Okay, so they are creating the jobs. So automatically with the investment of this company that is coming in our country, automatically they are boosting the job market of our own country, right? So this resulted in the increased foreign investment in these sector. Now seventh is encouraging domestic enterprises. Now with the liberalization, when we are opening up the market, now we are also making our Indian domestic enterprises open to all competition. Okay, so that they should follow the competitive way of working with their own players. Okay, so here with earlier they were being protected by the government of India. or the state government or whatever it is. But now they are being thrown open to the competition. Now they are being forced to follow the competition. So now they are forced to innovate. Now they are forced to improve efficiency. Now they are forced to open a better products and to remain competitive. Like if we give an example of the operator like Bharti Airtel and Vodafone. So the Bharti Airtel and Vodafone both have challenged the state-owned BSNL. Earlier BSNL was a single player, government player, doing whatever they want. But right now when the competition comes into being, now they have to start improving their services. They have to start improving their services. They wanted to expand their services in the telecom sector. So this is how competition helps in increasing the efficiencies and operations. So these were the objectives. Now what exactly we do when we say that we are following the liberalized policy? So whenever we say that we are following the liberalization policy, we are actually talking about, first of all, the deregulation of industrial sector, removal of licensing. That means there are like if we have one industry, so this industry nobody can open simply. You require a license from the government. Once the license has been given to you, then you can operate that industry. Okay, so now the government has done the removal of license from various industries and only kept very minimal license from various other countries. Okay, now government has removed the restrictions on private investment in the industry. Licensing policy has been removed except keeping on certain sector which are very sensitive of the nature. Then financial sector reform. Now we are opening up the banking sector. We are opening up the insurance sector. Many banking companies from outside like Citibank is there. We have our HSBC bank is there. Okay, these are all the international banks are there which are coming and investing in India. They are opening their branches in India. Insurance companies are there which are being doing tie-up. They are doing tie-up with the foreign companies like we have SDFC Argo. Okay, HDFC. Then we have Argo is there. Okay, Tata, AIG. Okay, so there are a lot of insurance companies are there in which a lot of foreign investment and foreign players have also started coming in our country in order to improve the efficiency of the insurance in the banking sector market. Okay, efficiency and transparency in that market. Then tax reforms. What are the tax reforms that we are focusing on? We are rationalizing the tax. We are not simply putting unnecessary taxation. We are rationalizing the tax which is optimum for that country. We are reducing the tax rate in our country in order to attract more and more foreign investment to come. Simplification of the tax procedure and tax administration so that even a layman can also understand the whole process of taxation. So once we are able to properly analyze and able to implement the liberalized policy in the taxation reform, obviously it will lead to the investment and economic growth. Then foreign exchange reforms. Foreign exchange regulations, easier repatriation, profit and investment. So it is like that you can, if you are working outside the country, you can easily transfer your money to India without any much hassle. Okay, and if you have wanted to transfer your money from India to outside, then also you can do it. So this is like you are providing easier way of total working of every places. Okay, then fifth one is trade and investment policy reform. Okay, we are making trade policy, we are making investment policy, like we are reducing the tariffs, we are simplifying the procedures of what import and export procedures are there. Okay, we are doing multilateral, bilateral. Right now we are been doing we have recently finished India, Australia bilateral agreement we have already done. Okay, then India UAE bilateral agreement is going on. India UK bilateral agreement is going on. Bilateral, multilateral agreements are going on. So this is again simplifying the whole process. Then the sixth one is external sector reforms. External sector means balance of payment position, currency, devaluation and exchange rate adjustment. These are also to be of your international standards. These are also should be of international standard. It is not like that you are manipulating your currencies, you are manipulating your exchange rate in order to remain competitive. No, you in some way or the other in the future you have to go to the market, and then you have to keep the thing loose on the market. So there is a need for proper external sector reform that has to be taken regarding balance of payment, currency devaluation, and exchange rate adjustment. Then foreign trade policy reforms are also very important. Like, what is your export policy, what is your foreign trade policy? Right now India government has come up with foreign trade policy for dollar 2 trillion trade by 2030. We are expecting that we will be doing dollar 2 trillion trade by 2030. Okay, so there is a need to check, and there is a need to address the balance imbalances that are there in the foreign trade policies, bridge the gaps, support the necessary industries so that they become competitive in the global market. Okay, now, what is the impact of liberalization policy? Once we are able to adopt the liberalized policy, what was the impact that was there? So, after following all the liberalization policy, what exactly we are able to get in the form of the result that we wanted to get, right? Obviously, after 1991, our GDP growth rate has increased to 6.6%, and in the meanwhile we also got 9.1% to 8.8%. So we are also getting the high GDP growth rate we are getting. Okay, so that means earlier what was happening before 1990 is now we are getting twice the rate of GDP growth rate, right? Then since we are able to reduce the barrier of entry of foreign investor, like we have rationalized our tax policies, we have rationalized their legal concerns. Okay, and now we have removed the barrier on prohibition of foreign investments. So more and more FDI, more and more FFIs are coming and investing in our country. Okay, you can see this data if you open any newspaper any day. You will see that how much FDI is coming, how many FFI is coming, and if any company is investing in the country, then you can think that this is a FDI coming with a technology to your own country. Then industrial growth, because of the competition. Okay, unfettered market access led to increased competition. So because since the market has been thrown open to everybody, so because of that there was an increased competition, and because of that our indigenous product which were under the government protection earlier became less competitive. Right now if you go and see that, you will find things are getting made in China, made in Korea, made in Taiwan. Okay, made in Bangladesh. Okay, but slowly our Make in India campaign is taking pace, and this is slowly rising. And after a few years, we will be seeing that our international competitiveness has further increased in the world, and then we will be competing with the international player in the market. Okay, and we are also getting access to technologies, 21st century technologies, which we are not able to produce because of the FDI and FFIs. They are also bringing the technologies with them, and we are utilizing their technologies in order to create their own product. Then capital flow, free flow of capital between states by reducing the protectionist measures. Now the capital is flowing in the capital account for investment purposes in our country, because the tariffs have been reduced, the trade barriers have been reduced. So it is easy for the foreign players to invest in India because they find it a better destination than any other country. Then lower cost of capital enabled business to invest in profitable ways. So because since the interest rate are lower, capital cost is lower, so now the businessmen are having money which is of low cost capital. They can invest in various other ventures which are giving them high rates of returns. Then small scale sector, so liberalization reduce restriction on industry reserved for a small scale production. So there is a reduction in the restriction on industries reserved for small scale production. Now, large corporations are also entering this small scale sector, because earlier a small scale sector or MSME sector are being under the government regulation, under the government control. But because of this liberalized policies and everything, now the small scale sector has also now been kept open for the big corporation. Now big corporation are also entering the field where small corporation have their own say. Okay, so there is a conflict that is there between the small player and the big player regarding like who is providing better value addition, who is providing better innovation, who is providing and who is adopting the technology much faster than anybody. So this is again a concept of competitiveness that will be further checked in the near future. Then agriculture. What is the benefit that liberalization has brought in the agriculture field? What is the role of agriculture? Agriculture, is providing 15 to 16% of the GDP, and it is employing 55% of the workers population. Okay, so effect of liberalization are not that much great, because they are mixed because of the pervasive government regulation and intervention, because agriculture is again being controlled by our government right now, whether it is central government, whether state government, because agriculture is being directly linked with the farmers, and farmer is a main issue of our country, and that is why government don't wanted to provide the private sector intervention in these areas. Okay, so yeah, in the liberalization we get a lot of products from the companies that are produced, like we getting fertilizers, we are getting a good quality seeds, okay, we are getting good quality implements are there, but direct intervention by the private party is further not being taken right now, and most of the things are being under the government regulation and government intervention. Then service sector is the biggest sector which got the maximum support of liberalization, because India's booming IT, software, BPO and LPO industries are there. Okay, because these industries are there which are generating a lot of profits for the country. Lot of forex also the country is generating, and they are creating a lot of jobs in our country. Okay, so export of service provide high value exports, and because and put India on the central map of the world as a knowledge economy. Okay, then regarding the banking and the stock exchanging, banking, as you all know, that has slowly becoming more and more competitive, and more and more international player are coming into place. We have Citibank is there, we have HSBC Bank is there, etc, etc. A lot of banks are there, foreign banks and private banks are there. Post liberalization they have been coming. Okay, and because of that there is a competition among the foreign banks, Indian bank, private bank, public sector bank, all these banks. There is a lot of competition that is going on. Then stock exchange facilitated real-time trading of corporate security. Right now we are able to form the demat account, dematerialized account are there, in which we are doing day-to-day trading of the stocks that are going on, and at the same time we are also getting a lot of services through these companies. Okay, so even right now if you see there are a lot of companies are there, like Zerodha is there. Okay, then we have Grow is there. These are all working as a stockbroking companies. Zerodha everybody knows, right? Grow everybody knows. So in every field there is a lot of private sector investment. Right now government is running a Startup India campaign. Okay, Start Up India campaign. So there are a lot of investment that is coming in the form of funding series B, funding series C, funding series D. Okay, so a lot of startup, whether it is Ola, whether it is Flipkart, whether it is anything like what we call it as Zomato, we have Swiggy. Okay, wherever you go, there are a lot of funding that is coming from outside. Okay, earlier there was a very much issue of this funding, but because of the liberalized policy, now we are also getting funding in all these areas. That is why they are able to raise the money from USA, London, China, Japan, wherever it is, right? But there are some places in which automatic 100% FDI is restricted, so you need government permission in order to get the work done over there. Okay, so then we come the telecom sector. Telecom sector is again got the major advantage and major beneficiary of the liberalize. So it ended the government monopoly in the telecom sector. Okay, and slowly it has provide much and much more release of like from much and much more facilities to the private sector. And now we have a lot of companies are there who are creating mobile phones, who are providing mobile services, either whether it is 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G and 5G. Okay, but this field is being faced by corruption. As you all know that we are running 2G scam that is going on, right? So there are a lot of scams are also there that has been part of that, and because of that this liberalization has been taken a backstage in this telecom sector. But since 2016 there is a lot of big companies are there, like Jio is there, then we have Airtel is there, we have Vodafone is there. A lot of big players are there who are opening up their 5G networks in India. So again, this is because of the liberalization policy. Then educational and healthcare sector. Right now government has even opened the center in Gujarat, Gift City, where foreign universities are opening their campuses. Even Indian, I think is it IIT Madras or IIT Bombay? They are going to open their campus in Dubai. Okay, so this is because of the liberalized policy that is going on, that the other countries education institution are opening their campuses in our country, and our country institutions are opening the campuses in the other country. So because of that we are providing good access, quality and affordability. Issues are still remaining there. Okay, we are opening the campus and everything, but access, quality and affordability is still the issue that is remaining there, and this has to be tackled at a very serious pace. Okay, because of these things in the healthcare sector and education sector, we have also seen that in the healthcare sector there are a lot of players are there which are being coming from abroad, and they're investing in India, and they're opening their healthcare facilities in country, whether it is related to hospitals or whether it is related to your testing facilities. Okay, all these things are there. So these are being given free hand in order to open their centers at various places in our country. Some are getting 100% FDI, some person are getting 90% FDI. Okay, like that, some are getting 60% FDI. So based on the type of a sector and sensitivity of the sector, we are having different way in which FDI is coming to our country. Okay, now what is the advantage of liberalization? Now we will be finding out what is the advantage of liberalization. If we do liberalization, if any country or if we do liberalization, what exactly we are expecting from there, right? So so many countries were following the liberalization policy, not from here. They were following since long time. We have started following the actual liberalization policy since 1990s. Okay, so with that we are able to generate a good amount of foreign direct investment, because now it becomes easier entry for foreign companies into India. Now foreign company can easily come to India and invest in our country, whether it is telecom, retail, insurance or any other company. So government provide a lot of ways in which you can invest in India, either 100% FDI or automatic route. Okay, you don't need to take any permission. Okay, like that. So there are a lot of ways government. So this FDI policy has been revised very sharply in our country, and now much of the sectors are being allowed foreign direct investment in their areas. Okay, then yeah, because of that there is like a double growth of the GDP that has increased, because post liberalization our country earlier that was there at 3 to 4%, now it has been growing to 7 to 8% average. Okay, so again, this is because of the liberalized policy in which foreign investment is coming, and that foreign investment is creating a lot of jobs in our country, and they are also creating a lot of products and services in our country which are being consumed in our country. So because of that, economic growth and economic boost is happening. Then technology transfer. Whenever foreign direct investment come, okay, so with the help of collaboration with multilateral company, we get their technology, and as a form of a technological transfer. Now Indian industries will be able to get, and they will be able to get proper technology, new technology which are be running at that time, and with this new technology we will be able to improve our productivity and growth of our sector. If we go for automotive sector, here they have given, we have given one example of automotive sector, okay, where tie-ups are being made to introduce advanced technologies for better manufacturing. Right now we have assembly lines, we have assembly lines are there, we have robotics machinery are there which are being utilized in our country, and because of that, more efficient way and more faster way of work that is going on. Then jobs creation. Liberalization have created jobs in each and every sector, especially in IT and IT enabled service, ITES. Post liberalization, and millions of jobs are being created in this field, and we are exporting these jobs. We are exporting these jobs to the other world, to the USA, Europe market, and various other Middle East countries and various other places. Then it also help us in getting more and more consumer choices. As you all know that when Indian economy was closed during the 1990s time, we have a very limited choice. We were having a very limited choice on the things, right? After 1990, lot of international products and international brands came into our country, whether we have PepsiCo, we have Lay's, we have Coca-Cola, then we have Britannia and everything. They have came to India, like Coca-Cola, PepsiCo. So okay, because of that we are, so the market remained more and more competitive, more and more products came into being, and now the local products are also getting reforming, and the local products are also getting innovative because they are not able to compete with the international players. So government so they were started investing in their own local products so that they should be able to compete with the international player, whether it is a food product, whether it is of grocery or anything, whatever it is. So slowly the choices of the consumer and the quality of the products has also improved. Now infrastructure development, we are getting a lot of international player who are investing in highway, ports and airports. If we go by build operate transfer, build own operate transfer model, then public private partnership models are there, okay, because of that new and modern infrastructure with new improved technology that is being utilized, and this is because of that we are able to build a new age highways, we are able to build a new age ports and airports, especially if we go by Delhi Metro. And right now if you can see, we are constructing the bullet train, okay, we are also constructing various underwater highway. Right now we have a metro train that in Kolkata that will be going underwater Hooghly River. Okay, so these are all being done on public-private partnership or after liberalization. Earlier government don't allow the major companies to work for it, but right now L&T company is there. Okay, so it is working for major government projects. Major government projects are there. The parliament is being made by it. Okay, various statues are being made by it, and etc. Okay. Even the Ram temple at Ayodhya is being constructed by this company. Okay, so right now government is also taking the help of the private sector in finishing of their product, in their projects. Okay, then global integration. Once we follow the policy of liberalization, we are integrating our economy with the world economy, whether it is international organization, whether it is countries, whether it is anything, whether it is international bank or anything. We are integrating more effectively into the world economy once we are liberalizing, because then we will be into a competitive mode. We will have a quality product. Okay, we all know that IT sector is export oriented in our country. Even our goods and merchandise sectors are again of export value, and this is the first time that is happening, that our merchandise export have crossed the service sector export in our country. Now, what are the negative impact of liberalization? There are a lot of negative impact of liberalizations are also there. So let's see what are the negative impacts. Now, what are the negative effects of liberalization? We all know that there are a lot of positive effects of liberalization we have already discussed, but there are some of the negative aspects are there, in which the first and the foremost is the growing income inequality among the people. Slowly, as we all know that because of the liberalization, the gaps between the rich and the poor was expanding, because yes, the liberalization have created opportunities only for certain segment of the society who are able to take the advantage of this whole policy, because here government reduces their regulation, and those private companies who are able to properly take on that regulations, they are able to earn the big fortune over there. And because of that, see, even liberalization has opened the economy for the international player, and for the Indian player also, the liberalization policy have created the ease out situation. But the help that liberalization has to provide to the people of the country has not of that value. There is a lot of income gap that is there between rich and poor. Okay, so only certain segment of the society and the people have got benefited out of it, and because of that, there is a lot of socio-economic disparities that are being still there. Then unemployment and underemployment is also there. Liberalization have created a lot of jobs in our country. Okay, because of that, lot of displacement of the worker has happened, because at only certain category of the work are there, like if there is a IT companies are there, so they have got lot of support. Manufacturing is not able to increase at that much pace. Okay, and because of lot of competition coming from the foreign industries and various foreign countries and various other places, so because of that, there is a lot of displacement of the worker that has happened. Okay, and even the quality of the work, even whatever the jobs that are getting created, that quality of the work is also a bit lower on the side. Okay, and the quality of the work is informal and insecure in nature. Okay, people were thinking that they will be getting a good job in which they will be having proper formal arrangement of the job contract will be there and proper secure job will be there, but because of this liberalization, at some places they are able to create good amount of job, but maximally they created a very informal and insecure work job environment. Then regional disparity, only a certain area of our country have got the development. Okay, जैसे like Maharashtra and Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal are the areas which have experienced the faster economic growth, and the Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, then we have Odisha, okay, Madhya Pradesh, all these places are there which have not seen that much faster growth. So there is a huge regional disparities also there in the name of liberalization and the fruits of the liberalization that are there. Then environmental degradation, with the more and more foreign investments coming, with the more and more companies are coming in, the more and more the market is getting more and more liberal. So there is a lot of environmental degradation, pollution, deforestation, because the new type of policies will be creating the favorable environment for creation of the factories, institute, and small cottage industries. So once they are able to set up over here, they will be creating a lot of environmental degradation. They will be deforestation will happen. They will clear off the land and they will be setting up their factories. Natural resources will get depleted. Pollution will be there at a very high. So this is what the negative impact of the liberalization that is there. Then loss of cultural identity, because most during the time of like around what we call it as 700 to 800 AD. Okay, during that time Islam came to India because of the cultural mix. Then Jainism, okay, then Buddhism, okay, then Parsism, and then every type of culture is there. Religious culture is there, normal day-to-day practice culture is there. So there is a lot of infusion that is happening. Now we have cosmopolitan cities are there, in which we have the population of various countries, various nationals countries we are having. Okay, so because of this liberalization policy, easing of the border norms and everything, so because of that there is a erosion of Indian cultural identity that has happened. Okay, then slowly we started depending on the imports. Right now we are dependent on electronic goods and semiconductors, so, and crude oil. So because since we are able to properly connect and we are able to properly align with the international market, we are not doing extra effort in finding out our own indigenous way of finding these things. Okay, so we are depending more and more on these semiconductor sector, electronic sector, oil sector, and various other strategic industries are there. So once we are dependent on these, so we are also prone to the external shock. We are also prone to the external vulnerability. We are also prone to external fluctuation in this whole process. Then financial stability. What happens in 2008, right? Global financial crisis has happened. So it has trickled down to the whole world, because since the world is connected with everywhere, so whatever problem happening at one place, it is having a trickle down effect on the whole economies of the world. Okay, so because global financial markets are interconnected, so because of that there is a lot of vulnerabilities in this whole sector. Okay, so there is a significant repercussion that happens if there is any issue that has happened in any part of the world. Then health and social welfare concern. Liberalization led to the privatization of essential services like healthcare system, also education system also. So because of that, poor and marginalized section of the society is not able to get good quality healthcare and education. Right now government is running Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, government is running Ayushman Bharat Yojana, right? So because of that there is a lot of concern has been raised regarding this basic services, and that government is focusing on all these areas in order to bring the equitable distribution in healthcare and social welfare concern. Still these are counted under the negative aspect of the liberalization. Now what is exactly is the way forward? Right now we are living in a totally different world, and this is the world which is not what we were having earlier. So right now we are having new rules, new problems and everything. So there is a need to focus on what exactly future of liberalization is, how we can go forward, and what future entails in this whole policy of liberalization. So if we go by the future and coming 1 or 2 decades, we are focusing on economic growth. Economic growth is something like we wanted to keep sustaining it and accelerating it. It is not like that we should simply that all of a sudden the economic growth goes down and all of a sudden the economic growth goes up. So first of all, the main focus area is on sustaining the economic growth to the larger extent. Okay, so that is why continuous reforms are needed in ease of doing, attracting foreign investment and entrepreneurship. This is what is needed in this whole process. Then focuses on sectoral reform. Like sectoral reforms are the reform which we have to focus on those areas which do not get fruits of the liberalization in 1990s. Okay, so further liberalization is needed in agriculture, retail and labor sector, because in these all sectors still we are having a lot of regulatory constraints are there. So we need to unlock the potential by providing a liberal policy towards these sectors. So again, this is again a way forward in this whole direction. Then globalization focuses on like how India is going to link itself to the various parts of the world. Okay, how India is trying to negotiate its trade relationship with the world, how India is going to negotiate international trade agreement, how India can protect its domestic industries. First of all, India has to focus on domestic industries, how India can protect that by providing the competition in a healthy manner, so that we are able to protect our domestic industry, at the same time we are able to gain the importance of the foreign industries. Then technologically innovation, so there is a need for proper use of leverages of technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, augmented reality, virtual reality. All these technologies are there which we need to emphasize, which we need to take care of, which we need to use it in a larger scale, so that we make more and more efficient and more competitive product in our all manufacturing and service sector. Then social impact, what exactly we are focusing on the social impact areas. Now, what is the meaning of social impact? So we know that in 1990s until three decades, what was going on, we are not able to properly bridge the gap between the haves and haves nots. Okay, we are not able to properly bridge the income inequality gap. So there is a need to look again back in this inequality and social exclusion context, because this is going to be the way forward in the future of liberalization effort, because this inequality and social exclusion keeps on challenging our inclusive growth agenda. Okay, that is why there is a need to invest in all the social sectors, whether it is education, healthcare, sustainable development and various other places, in order to bridge the inequality and in order to bridge the social exclusion. That is again one of the more criteria that we wanted to know in the liberalized policy, that in the way future that we wanted to utilize. Then environmental sustainability, this is the new and 21st century topic. Okay, environmental sustainability. So whatever we are focusing on, whether industries, services, manufacturing, whatever it is, our development has to be sustainable. It has to be sustainable. It should not create any kind of issues with the environment. We need to make sure that we should prioritize the environmental regulation. We should prioritize our renewable energy. We should prioritize the green technologies, because this is again in the way forward the liberalization policy is going to work. So more and more liberal policies are needed in the environmental sustainability area, where government has to heavily invest in all these areas. Then we are coming into the political dynamics. Okay, so the direction and the pace of the political theories and the flow of politics should be in such a way that where they should not be confronting. Okay, there should not be confronting. They should be balancing and competing interest. Their ideologies and priorities should remain intact, and they should follow the broader geopolitical trend. It is not like that they should follow their local trend. No, whatever is going on in the world, they have to keep in mind all those things. Then only they have to devise their own policies if they really wanted to create a liberal atmosphere, that too helping your own country and helping the world. Okay, so there is a very important, we need to balance the competing interest. Whatever the competing interests are there, it should be balanced in such a way that you should also remain happy, we also should remain happy, and that is why we will be, and because of that only we will be able to advance towards our more and more liberalized reform in the coming future. Okay guys, so thank you so much. I hope all of you have enjoyed the session. Bye bye, take care.